Welcome back to the Love Café, where we feed you love every week. On today's menu is the story about Michael and Margie. It's the early summer of 2002. Margie is in line at the Department of Foreign Affairs in Manila to get a Philippine passport. Despite the chaos in the office, Margie is overjoyed because her boyfriend wants her to apply for a fiancé visa. He finally got his immigration papers to the U.S., and he was inviting her to visit. Meanwhile, Michael, who is also at the Department of Foreign Affairs, is in line to get a passport to go to Japan for business training. However, the moment Mike sees Margie, something happens. Something he can't control. He introduces himself to Margie and starts a conversation while they wait in line. Eventually, Mike completes his application and leaves. 45 minutes later, Margie's application is accepted and she walks to the bus to go home. Waiting outside for her is Mike. It's past lunchtime, so Mike asks if Margie wants to get something to eat before heading home. Concerned that this person might not be safe, being that they just met, Margie reluctantly agrees to take the bus with Mike and find a place to eat. Unfortunately, the bus going to Quezon City was full. With some trepidation, Mike says gently, "I couldn't tell you earlier, but I brought my car. I didn't know what you would think, but I could drive you home if that's okay with you." By then, Margie is starving, so she accepts his offer. A few minutes into the car ride, Margie begins to feel unease. She's in a car by herself with a complete stranger. "You can drop me off at the corner," Margie says anxiously. "I live nearby." Margie doesn't want Mike to know where she lives since she doesn't yet trust him. Instead, they exchange phone numbers and part ways. A few days later, Margie receives a text from Mike. With the utmost delight, she responds. After talking to each other, Mike finds out Margie works at China Bank and starts visiting her there. At one point, Mike realizes Margie lives near the area where he grew up. Using the excuse of visiting old friends, he asks to see Margie since he was in the area anyway. Every day, Mike would drive 1.5 hours to Cavite to his job in Binondo, and later take an hour-long detour to see Margie in Quezon City. He visits Margie without fail for 9 months until she finally agrees to go out with him. In all that time, Margie is reluctant to accept Mike into her life because she still has a boyfriend who lives in the U.S. However, sometime within those 9 months, Margie breaks up with her boyfriend, with whom she remains friends with to this day. During this whole time, Mike has a girlfriend too, who is close to his mom, Angie. When Angie meets Margie, she disapproves. Angie keeps complaining to Mike's siblings. Why doesn't she stop Mike from visiting? She is something else. She doesn't like that Margie takes Mike's time and attention from her. Eventually, Mike's first girlfriend breaks up with him. He is no longer the Michael she knew. Mike completes his degree in computer science at Emilio Aguinaldo College, and Margie graduates with a degree in business administration from the University of Santo Tomas. Mike and Margie continue to work and be in a committed relationship as Mike drives daily to visit Margie for the next 6 years. At one time, they both are feeling uncertain about their relationship, and they were getting a little tired of how things were. So they decide to break up. 2 months later, however, they come back together, realizing that they cannot live without each other. Michael and Margie get married at the Shrine of Jesus Church in Pasay City on April 4th, 2009. Today, Michael and Margie devote their time to their parents and have 2 children, Monty and George.